Richy Rich, Tom Ross, what's up, man? What's going on with you guys? We're getting ready to talk some fantasy football. How you guys doing today? We're gonna start off with Richy Rich, and then Ross, you get on the back end. Let's get them salutations out the way.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Salutes to you. He knows. Salutes to you, Ross, man. We about to go into this NFL fantasy and pick'em show. We about to give you guys the full breakdown. It's almost the middle of the week, man. So we're getting excited. We got a Thursday game coming up tomorrow, and then the rest of the games coming up. So we looking forward to that. More storylines to talk about, more players to break down. Who the players this week to watch for. This week 7 coming up. Who to not go after. It's going to be exciting stream. So tune in.
Mm-hmm. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Tom Ross TV. So hit that like. All right. We are now separating the weak from the strong. We're separating the Cooper Rush fans from the Jalen Hurts fans. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into
it. All right. Well, I know Richy Rich and Tom Ross feeling some type of way. I have to toot my own horn because we picked in week 6 based on our tallies, and based on the tallies, I turned around and being 10-5. So, I gotta say that I'm the winner of the week. Richy Rich and Tom Ross are 9-6. Respectable. That's playoff bound, but based on the record that I have, that's like first week bye. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm waiting either in the AFC or NFC divisional game to play against one of these guys. So first week goes to Heknows. It's gonna look like that every week. I just want y'all to understand that that's how it's going to be every week, but I just wanted to put that out there. But let's get first. I'm going to come out the gate because they feeling some type of way, thinking that I'm just moderating and going off of their strategy. So I'm going to put myself on the line for Thursday night's game because they taking tally. We got the Saints playing the Cardinals.
Hold on. Take your time because I got to write this down. You said the Saints winner?
The Saints versus the Cardinals. I'm going to go out the limb, and I'm going to pick the Arizona Cardinals to win that game.
All right. Cardinals.
That's right.
All right. What else?
So who y'all got for Thursday night's game?
Okay. This motherfucker go. You go pause. I got the. Damn, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. They both 2-4.
It's a tough one.
But I didn't hesitate. I picked
Cardinals.
my team off the rip.
Cardinals.
Okay.
I got the Cardinals as well. DeAndre Hopkins coming back.
So it is official. We all got the Arizona Cardinals because we all taking Talbot.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's jump to Sunday's game. And in Sunday's game, I'm going to let Richy Rich go first with this. It's going to be Cleveland Browns, and then Ross, you go second, and I'll get it on the back end. Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens.
I got the Ravens.
I got the Ravens as well. No way they dropped 2 in a row. And Deshaun Jackson just joined the Ravens.
Yeah. I like that move for them.
Okay.
Like that pickup.
I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens as well.
All right.
So now we're going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Ross, you go first. I'm going to go second, and then Richy Rich go third.
I got the Bucks. I don't see Tom Brady dropping 2. Not against Baker Mayfield. No, sir.
You guys know I'm a Tom Brady fan, so I'm biased, so I'm always going to pick Tom Brady, so I'm picking the Bucks.
I'm going to go with the Bucks too. I don't think Baker Mayfield's playing that game. I think he still has a bad ankle injury that he can't play on. So it's going to be the third stringer again. I think Phillip Walker.
Mm-hmm.
PJ Walker. Man,
PJ Walker.
Yes, sir. even if Baker Mayfield was playing, they was gonna lose, man.
They're gonna get drummed. They're gonna get drummed. Let's be honest. They're not on the Bucks level, so they're gonna get drummed regardless. Okay, so now it's on me. I'm gonna go first. Atlanta Falcons versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons for that game. Both teams are evenly matched in terms of record, but I just believe that the Falcons are going to pull away. I think the Falcons are going to have a high-scoring game, so I'm picking the Falcons to win that game.
All right, Richard.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Yeah, I can't see myself.
I think
I can't see myself picking the Falcons over the Bengals, but damn, Falcons have gotten better. And I got to pick right now. I can't wait, huh?
Mm-hmm. You got to pick right now.
I think this is going to be the upset of the week.
So you picking the Bengals?
Oh yeah, I'm taking a hunch.
Okay. So both you and
I'm going with the Falcons.
Okay.
I'm going with the Falcons, but the Bengals should win this game. But for some reason, I think they're gonna get upset.
Okay. So now, Richy Rich, you going first, then Ross, then me. Cowboys versus the Lions.
Well, all day I'm going with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott coming back in that game.
What about you, Ross?
Cowboys.
Regardless if Dak Prescott was there or not, or if it was Cooper Rush, I'm going with the Cowboys. They just have the stronger squad. They have the stronger strength in scheduling. The Cowboys look so good this year, so I'm picking them out the gate. The next one, New York Giants versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. You, Ross, then myself, then Richy Rich.
Jacksonville.
Okay. I'm going with the New York Giants. I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a great hellified rushing game. I expect them to rush over 200 yards in that game. What about
going
you?
With the Giants, man. The swagger is just different over there. New head coach, you bringing in instilling confidence in those players, and they now believe they could win football games. They can go out there and execute and actually win. So the Jaguars are a mess right now. They turn over the football. They can't execute. I think the Giants are going to take advantage of that.
Man, I'm always getting these tough ones where the matches are like even, but it's me out the gate again. The Colts versus the Titans. I'm picking the Colts in this game. I feel like this is going to be a close game. I think the Colts are going to win by 3 points. It's going to be like one of those pull and tug games where it's going to be back and forth, but I got the Colts winning 27-24.
I got the Titans.
I got the Titans as well. They just came off a bye, and they already beat the Colts already. And that was with Jonathan Taylor was playing. He's still injured. He's questionable in this game. If he comes back, he's not going to be 100%. And now they got to go play in Tennessee. I like Tennessee coming off that bye. I think they're going to win.
I like this one because it's obvious that you both are picking the Titans and I'm picking the Colts. So that should be easy. All right. This one right here. Richy Rich first, then Ross, then myself. Packers and the Commodores.
Commanders.
Yeah.
These are the Commanders. The niggas common.
I guess I read it wrong. Commanders, my bad.
Yeah, they weak as hell. Common.
I'm going with the Packers. Carson Wentz is out because he hurt himself in that game against the Bears. I think he fractured a finger, so he can't go in this game. So they're gonna have their second string in there. I think the Packers could take advantage of that, because they lost the last 2 weeks. They need this win.
Okay. What about you, Ross?
I got the Packers.
Okay. I'm picking the Packers as well, too. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a big game only because he's playing against a team that is defensively irresponsible. So usually when he's playing against teams that are defensively irresponsible, and he is, a game manager, so he should be able to have a big game. I see him throwing the ball with 300 yards. All right, Jets versus Broncos. Ross, you, then myself, then Richy Rich. Who you got?
Broncos. Broncos are going to win this game.
Okay. I got the New York Jets. I'm going off of strength of schedule. They're just a better team. And once again, I'm picking against Russell Wilson. I don't believe him this year not because I don't believe in Russell Wilson, is because he's just not in his Seattle Seahawks swag. You could just tell. Seattle Seahawks was the perfect team for him because they devised the system based on his quarterback ability. On the Denver Broncos, he's not a good fit there because the system is not set up for his style of quarterback. I'm sorry to say this about Russell Wilson, but he's a quarterback that's limited in a box of he has a certain style, and you have to be able to coach him based on that style. And if you try to put him in situations where the style is not conducive to him, he's not going to flourish. And that's why he hasn't been flourishing with the Denver Broncos. So I'm picking the opposite side of the equation, and I'm going with the Jets.
Okay, I'm also going with the Jets. Another team that's playing with swagger. They won the last three. They won 3 games in a row. They're executing on both ends of both ends, offense and defense, and they're playing against a struggling Broncos team where Russell Wilson has no running game. Is the running back, the number 1 running back, got injured. Melvin Gordon is trash. And he's playing with a new head coach that's in over his head, doesn't know what he's doing. So the Jets are going to be able to take advantage of that.
Now we have a situation here where I don't know why I'm always getting these hard situations, but I guess it's meant for me to get it this week. We got the Texans 1-3-1 and the Raiders 1-4. This is probably the most garbage game of this week because you got 2 garbage ass teams that's playing. I'm gonna pick the lesser of the garbage because I feel like the Raiders have been the most trash team in football. So I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders. This is a game they should be able to win.
Me too. The Raiders, they need to listen. When the last time these motherfuckers won, man? the Raiders need to win, man.
So this one should be an obvious one too, because both of y'all picked Raiders and I picked Texans. All right. Richy Rich is on you, then Ross and me. Seahawks, Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers. Chargers showed me they could play defense. They're not just a team that scores. They're a team that can get stops. And I think they're gonna be able to get to they're gonna be able to limit the Seahawks running game, and they're gonna be able to get to their quarterback and cause him to make some mistakes.
All right. What about you, Ross?
Got Seahawks.
Okay. I'm picking the Chargers. I just feel like the Seahawks haven't been the same. It's interesting how Russell Wilson and the Seahawks both are in that same equation where they both miss each other. I honestly don't understand why Russell Wilson ever left and why and why there was that separation. But they need each other. They miss each other. So I'm picking the Chargers to win that game. All right. Ross is on you, then Richy Rich, then myself. I kind of already know where Richy Rich is going with this game, but the Chiefs versus the 49ers.
Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs. They're going to drum the 49ers. 49ers getting blown out the damn water.
Yeah, whatever you say. I'm going with my Niners all day, boy.
All right. Well, this one's an easy one for me, even though it's tough. I just don't pick against them. Win, lose, or draw. The Steelers versus the Dolphins. I'm picking the Dolphins to win that game.
Dolphins? I'm picking the Steelers. I mean, not the Steelers. I mean, I'm picking the.
Tua's coming back.
Yeah, I'm picking the
Yeah,
Dolphins.
This dude try to have a hiccup moment. I knew Tua was coming back. Yeah, I knew. And why you had to say that, Richie Rich? Because he was about to pick the Steelers. You gave him a fifth.
I'm picking the Dolphins.
Man, you had to give Ross that assist. Ross,
So you mean you think I ain't know Tua was coming back?
Nah, you was doing a hiccup moment. You was about to say Steelers.
Nah, because you gotta understand one thing. Guess what thing the Steelers got that the Dolphins don't got? The Steelers got a real fucking coach that can win games that he ain't supposed to.
That's true, but the Dolphins got a better quarterback and better defense.
Yeah, especially with Tua coming back.
Exactly. That's why I'm confident.
I'm going with the Dolphins too. I think those players are gonna rally behind Tua coming back. It's gonna be an emotional game for them because all the stuff he had to go through. That them players are gonna make plays in all phases for him.
And he's gonna come back seamlessly because they said he cleared all concussion protocols and he hasn't had no setbacks. So I think they're gonna blow out the Steelers, man. That's just my honest opinion with that. They're gonna blow their ass out. All right. So let's go with the last game, Monday Night Football. The Chicago Bears and the Patriots. Richie Rich, then Ross, then myself. Who y'all got?
It's not even a hard one, man. I'm going with the Patriots all day. They're gonna make Justin Fields. They're gonna bring hell to Justin Fields. Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
This Chicago nigga gonna pick Chicago.
I want to pick Chicago.
Boy, you go ahead, man.
But
that's like when he chose the Dolphins over the Vikings.
Yeah, but when it comes down to picks, I don't make it personal. I'm gonna go against the Bears just for the simple fact we have not done anything that helped Justin Fields yet at all. And playing against Belichick, and you don't even help your quarterback, you just rely on him just to do whatever. That shit ain't gonna work against Belichick, man. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
That's it. Ross is banned from Chicago. Sacrilegious, dog. You don't go against your home, dog. But I understand your position on that. Myself,
it's a pick. It's not personal.
Myself, I'm picking the Patriots, man. I feel like Belichick is now starting to get back in the groove. I think he got something to prove this year. He's actually had to, these last 2 years, have actually had to coach because he hasn't had the luxury of Tom Brady. And I feel like he's now starting to get back into a stride of who he is as a coach outside of the shadow of Tom Brady. So I think they're going to win off the strength of that. I got the Patriots. So we all got our picks. I think we did it very even this week. So when I win again, I want to hear, we didn't do it. I think the distribution was fairly equal this time around.
All right, well, let's see.
All right, so let's switch gears now because we're going to break it down because this is fantasy football. So as we are talking about these teams and we're going back down the pike once again for the Saints and the Cardinals, I want you guys to take Richie Rich. I'm going to let you start off, and then Ross, you tell me based on the game, who's the guy that you need to look out for in that game, and who's going to be the choker basically in that game.
Saints and the Cardinals. The guy that's going to put on the show is going to be Kyler. Kyler's going to get off. The choker, I don't know who's going to be the choker. I can't lie. It's so many people on the fucking football team, boy. Any one of them niggas could choke. but only a few are going to come through.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I take that back. Kyler is going to be Kyler, but the dude that's going to really get off is going to be Hopkins.
Yeah.
He gonna get off because thing is, what's name just got hurt too. Marquise Brown just got hurt, so he gonna get a lot of targets.
Mm-hmm.
They picked up Robbie Anderson they traded for Robbie Anderson on Carolina Panthers. That was on the
Damn.
So what you think? What you think he's gonna be doing?
I think that's another dude that to look out for. Kyler Murray, he gonna listen.
I want you to say that again because those that's listening in on fantasy football, who's the guy that they need to pay attention to?
You need if you want a quarterback, go after Kyler Murray. He's the guy to make sure you have him out. You have him starting because he's gonna be putting up points. Because he got Robbie Anderson and DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. You know he's gonna be airing the ball out, and those guys are gonna be making plays.
Okay, so y'all heard it. Y'all need to look out for Kyler Murphy in that game. So let's go to the Browns and the Ravens. Who's going to be the standout player and who's going to be the choker?
Jacoby Brissett going to have a lot of pressure put on him. And he hasn't seen yet. This is probably going to be a good game because typically always a good game between the Browns and the Ravens. But I got Lamar Jackson having another a blowout game, not a blowout game, but another big performance. Because normally he follows up a bad performance with a huge performance. So I got Lamar accounted for at least 3 touchdowns. I don't know how you're gonna get them, but at least 3.
I feel like Lamar's gonna have a bounce back game. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this. I don't think if he's ever had it in his career, I think Lamar's going to have a 500-yard game. He's going to have 300 passing, 200 rushing. He's going to put up some gaudy stats because one thing that I've learned with Lamar Jackson is when he has a bad game, he always gets a get back for the next game. And I think he's going to really send a statement out there to the league. I am not one player to be trifled with.
Right.
What's your take on it, Richy Rich?
Yeah, I also agree. Lamar, he's going to step up. He's going to do his thing in this game. That's apparent. But another player y'all should be looking at is Kenyon Drake. J.K. Dobbins, who was their number one running back, he's still, going through that knee injury that he suffered last year where he tore his ACL.
But this is how I know Richy Rich knows fucking football, man. Go ahead.
Cleveland Browns, man, they're a terrible run defensive team. For the pick I told y'all to go with last week, Ramondre Stevenson, that boy ran wild on them. The week before that, Austin Eckler ran wild on the Cleveland Browns. He had 178 yards on them. Kenyon Drake ran for over 100 yards on the Giants. Giants are a really good defense. If he can do that on the Giants, imagine what he's going to do on the Cleveland Browns. So pay attention to Kenyon Drake. That's a good sleeper pickup. If you need a running back, low key,
that's the reason why the Ravens lost.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck Greg Roman be thinking, and I don't know what the fuck John Harbaugh be thinking is letting him do what he do. But Greg Roman purposely goes against what's working. Every time something starts working good, he just stops doing it. Like, dude, retarded or something. Yep. When you're running the ball down a team's throat, you keep running it until they stop it.
Exactly.
It's like he calls the game in a way to where he makes it hard as possible for Lamar Jackson to win. Like, think about the games Lamar Jackson has to win. He has to play the best football of anybody of that year just to win a regular game. When this nigga win a game, it'd be like an all-time game and shit. Like, nobody ever done this before type shit. This is the type of predicament they put this nigga in. He got to have an all-time NFL performance just to win a regular season game.
Facts.
That's bad coaching, man. Your quarterback should be able to win a game like barely, like just against
He should be able to win a game just game managing. Let's be honest.
right against the Cincinnati Bengals was the first time I ever seen in Lamar Jackson career where he won a game and he ain't had to be his very best.
Yep.
Any other time he got to be the very best player in the league just to win a regular game. That's bad coaching. They rely way too much on Lamar Jackson and they don't coach him.
Facts. Beyond facts. Now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers, I believe Tom Brady, he's been struggling, but in this game, he should drum the Carolina Panthers defense. And it could be it's gonna be definitely a confidence booster for him because as a quarterback, one thing in sports that I like, and that's any position that you play, regardless the sport that you play, this is where playing garbage teams help you. Garbage teams are confidence boosters for you. When you get a garbage team that you play against, that's when you can get your rhythm. That's when you can get your flow. That's when you can get your swag back. So this is a game that Tom Brady needs to really use his weapons. Stop overly making, remember the Titan speeches with his offensive line. Get that ball out in 3 seconds. Become the 2-minute surgeon that he is and dominate in this game so that he can reinstill the confidence. Basically be action-oriented and talking less. So I feel like Tom Brady's going to be the player to watch out for in this game. But who do you guys have as the player to watch out in the Bucs and the player that's going to be suspect in the Bucs versus the Panthers?
Whoever playing quarterback for the Panthers now is going to be suspect against that defense. And Tom Brady should put up some numbers. So basically what you're saying is this game is like when you fucking fat bitch. If you ain't had none in a minute and you hit the fat bitch and get your confidence back, and then next thing you get back in the streets and you get at everything.
Yep. Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Especially if she's like the version that Weeknd talk about when he said, "I don't fuck you past 3 a.m. or some shit like that." I forgot the name of that song. So, Richy Rich, what's your take on it? Richy Rich, you there?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Just like you guys mentioned before.
On the Bucs and the Panthers.
Yeah. Go with Tom Brady. It's just like you guys mentioned before. It's going to be a confidence booster for that team. They're going to be able to move the ball, passing, running. Go with Leonard Fournette too. He's going to be able to run the ball all day on that Panthers team. Look at Mike Evans. If you're trying to go for a receiver, he's going to be the target. On the other end, I'd say go with if you're looking for a running back to try to produce some stuff for you, you can go with Christian McCaffrey too, because he's pretty much their own playmaker. So that guy's they're gonna be giving the ball to that dude all day. That's what PJ Walker was doing last week. He didn't get no rushing touchdowns, but he was able to pick up a lot of receiving yards because he's a dual threat back. So that's a back you might want to look at. He's their only playmaker on that team. They done traded Robbie Anderson away. They still got their other receiver, but that team is just it's like a team that, they're ready to just have a fire sale because they taking offers for Christian McCaffrey too. Mm-hmm. But they looking for draft first round draft picks. They're looking for a whole bunch of offers. So that team is just, I don't know where they're trying to go, where they're headed, it's just that's a matchup where the Bucs are just gonna thrash them, man.
In the spirit of answering questions, because we're always getting that, Mark Grefford said, should I trade Debo for D-Hop?
No, because we don't. D Hop should have big numbers, but D Hop coming off an injury. Debo ain't coming off no injury, and he been balling. So try to trade somebody else for D Hop. Somebody else who, you know what I'm saying? Not somebody who's already consistent.
I know why he's saying that, because Debo, he's been the last 2 games, he's been dropping a lot of passes. And he has his numbers the last 2 weeks haven't been that great, so haven't been that solid. So he's probably thinking that DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a big game, which he probably is. So
what's your take on it, Richie Rich?
So going into this week, I wouldn't do it, because Debo, the Chiefs, they give up they give up a lot of points a game. They give up over about 24 points a game. And 49ers, they're going to find ways to score on that Chiefs defense. Their secondary is sketchy. Garoppolo, he's going to be able to find Debo. He's going to be able to make some plays, especially this loss that they suffered last week against the Falcons, where the offense looked like the 49ers offense didn't look like themselves. So they're going to game plan better throughout the week, and they're at home. So Debo, he might show out. They're at home, and they're going to be playing the Chiefs, and they're coming off a loss. So Debo might show out. I wouldn't bench him for DeAndre Hopkins.
So Mark, based on these 2 experts, it's unanimous. Don't do it. All right, so let's go down the pike. Falcons versus the Bengals. Who's going to go off in this game, and who's going to struggle?
Falcons versus the Bengals.
Mariota, man. Mariota going to ball out, because Cordell Patterson is still out in this game. He's not going to play in this game. So Mariota's going to be asked to do everything like he did last week against the Niners, where he was throwing touchdowns, running for touchdowns. That guy's going to generate points.
Do you think it's going to catch up to Mariota that he has to do so much, or you think he's still going to ball out?
Nah, that's how he plays.
That's how he plays. If you're looking for
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I believe Mariota has a good chance to, if the defense can hold up and make them earn everything easy, because this is how Cincinnati plays. Cincinnati is like the football Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, a 3-pointer is a chunk play. That's what a 3-pointer is, a 50-yard bomb. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you could take away the chunk plays from Cincinnati, any team could beat them. Because they're not a team that can systematically go down and systematically break you down and move down 10 yards. They need the chunk plays. If they can take that away from them, I can see Mariota putting in work.
Facts. I see the brilliance behind what you both are saying. So let's move down to the next game, the Detroit Lions and the Cowboys. As we know, Dak Prescott is coming back. So out the gate, I'm going to say Dak Prescott has something to prove. He's going to have a big game because, one, he's been having this guy Cooper Rush that's been basically a game manager that's kept the team afloat, and is having guys, Cowboys' owner questioning if maybe Dak Prescott should still be the number 1 guy. So I think Dak Prescott's going to have one of those remember who I am type of games, and he's going to need that. And I feel like he's going to get Ezekiel Elliott and all of those other guys involved, and they're really going to ball out. So I want to know who is the guy that's going to stand out to you guys in that game, and who's going to be the guy to not look forward to that's going to be suspect.
I also agree. I mean, go with Dak, because the Lions, although they're coming off a bye, They didn't play last week. That defense that they have out there, nothing's gonna cure that defense that they have out there because they allow a lot of points. That a lot of people thought the Cowboys season was over, but Cooper Rush, even though he didn't, he finally was brought down to earth this past Sunday. He kept that team afloat. Their season is still alive, and they can still win their conference. Even though the Eagles are up, there's still a lot more football to be played.
Mm-hmm.
They lost this time, the Eagles, but the Eagles got to travel to Dallas next time.
Yep.
We're gonna see what happens out of that. But I like Dak Prescott to get some passing yards and to get a few touchdowns on that Lions defense. Sit down Jared Goff, man, because you see what that Dallas defense can do. They can get Jared Goff's one of those quarterbacks. When you get pressure on him, he folds. That Dallas line, they're gonna be able to get to him and cause trouble.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ross?
I don't know what type of Dak we're getting when he comes back,
Mm-hmm.
but if he's 75% of what he is, they should win this game. Who's gonna choke? I don't know, man. That's a vague question because there's too many motherfuckers to choose. But for Dallas, if Dak comes back at least 75% of what he is, and he actually because it's not, believe it or not, it's not. They want to make it seem like it's Dak. It's really the play caller because they wasn't calling these plays like this when Dak was playing. They was calling all passing plays and shit that didn't make no sense. But when Dude comes in, they call a game how they supposed to call it. An even game, running the ball, quick passes, easy to convert throws. When Dak is in the game, they call shit that don't make no sense.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right. So let's get down to the next game. Giants versus the Jaguars. I believe the Giants are going to ball out of control. I believe Saquon Barkley is going to have a 200-plus rush yard game. But I want you guys' take. Who do you have as the player that's going to stand out? And who do you guys have as the player that's going to choke in this game?
Daniel Jones is going to choke under the defense.
And why you say he's going to choke?
That's Jacksonville, man. Jacksonville get so much pressure to the quarterback. They get a lot of pressure to the quarterback. And when they beat the Ravens last week, these niggas was crying that they won the fucking Super Bowl. I'm serious. They was crying. So they too high off that win. Why the fuck is y'all crying?
It's Lamar Jackson, man. Anybody's gonna be high off of beating Lamar Jackson.
Nah. You a win is a win. You happy? Then over with. Next game. They too charged off this game.
I agree with that. You can't be overly celebrating the damn
overly celebrating, crying and falling all out of shit. Like, man, bro, they too high off this last game. They go catch a rude awakening against Jacksonville.
I mean, it's just the team. It's over excitement, but it's a team that's gone through a lot of losing seasons, and they're happy to now be a team that's getting some wins under their belt. You can understand where they're coming from, but I'd say in this game, Saquon is going to be the workhorse guy in this game because Daniel Jones, he's not really a quarterback that picks you apart like that. So if the game go with Saquon, he's going to have his numbers in this game. The guy that's going to choke is going to be Trevor Lawrence. That guy, he's been a turnover machine. Every game you see, he has an interception or more. Giants can create turnovers. So they're gonna get turnovers on Trevor Lawrence. That's a dude to stay away from in this week because he's not gonna do good.
You ever see Trevor Lawrence bouncing back, or he's always gonna be like that for the rest of the
He's
season?
gonna bounce back, but I don't think he's gonna bounce back this week.
Gotcha. So that's another player for you guys to pay attention to on your fantasy football roster. If you got Trevor Lawrence, you might want to nix him. All right, so let's go to Colts and the Titans. Who y'all got as the player that's gonna show up in that game, and who y'all got as the player that's gonna choke?
Derrick Henry. Yeah, I got Derrick Henry running for at least 130, 140 against these niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? they not the same defense as they was last year. Mm-hmm. You know, they done took some injuries. Derrick Henry still hasn't had that big breakout game yet. I think he has it against these guys here. What's the name? They don't really trust him like that. They trust him even less. Tannehill. So that's going to be even more tested. This guy's going to get. I predict him to be a fucking beast or something.
Man, let me tell you something. Ryan Tannehill was the worst thing that happened to the Dolphins. The only reason why they kept him as a quarterback as long as they did on the Dolphins is because his blonde hair and his blue fucking eyes. Let's just be honest with that. I'm glad they got Tua.
Tannehill was trash, man.
Garbage. He wasn't even a game manager. He was borderline at that.
Y'all got to understand one thing. Y'all got to understand how fucked up the NFL is. Lamar Jackson never played wide receiver in his fucking life. These niggas said, man, why you're trying for wide receiver? We think you'll be better there. Ryan Tannehill was a wide receiver. They made this nigga a quarterback.
Yep.
Bro.
He was better off being a wide receiver.
Bro, a wide receiver ain't no convert to no fucking quarterback.
Exactly.
You'll be better off trying to convert a running back. At least they understand
the dynamics only happen that way when you are white hair and fucking blue eyes. That's the only time that dynamic happens, man. Let's be honest.
How the fuck y'all say we gonna draft this nigga as a quarterback even though he's a wide receiver?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Richy Rich know how I feel about Tannehill. I wanted them to get rid of that motherfucker a long time ago. So Tua was a great upgrade, and I like Tua. I have nothing to say about Tua because let's be honest, Tua has had an 80.8% winning percentage. He's up there with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts don't get enough credit for that. He's up there with Lamar Jackson. These guys right here are a special company of guys that have an 800 winning percentage, basically 80 percentile winning percentage since last year going into this year. So Tua is definitely an upgrade. But you guys know how I feel. Even with Tua being an upgrade, if the Dolphins can find a way to get that lottery Lamar Jackson, I would even vote Tua even for Lamar Jackson, man, because Lamar Jackson is a one-in-a-lifetime generational talent, man. I'm just sorry. If I can get that guy, he's a Florida homegrown guy. I just feel like he's going to be at home because he's going to be home in Florida. That means he ain't got to travel nowhere. Because if you guys know, Richy Rich know what I'm talking about. Ross, maybe you know what I'm talking about. Broward County and Dade County is nothing but 20-minute drive. That's it. So he's home. He's home. That's why I need that dude there. I need that dude with the Dolphins because he would be home. He's a Broward County dude that could just make his drive from his mom's house all the way down to Dade County and go play in that damn Dolphins stadium off Ives Dairy Road. That's it. That's what I want. That's all I want for him to be able to do that. And I would feel like the Dolphins would be basically, they would look like the team that they were in the 70s because you would have him, you would have Tyreek Hill, you would have Waddle. I mean, I don't even want to think about that squad, man. That squad would be it'd be bananas, man. That's like a perfect matrimony, man. I don't know if the NFL would allow that to happen because that means it would be unfair for every other team in football. But let's just say if they rolled the dice and allowed that to happen, the Dolphins will win back-to-back Super Bowls, man. I'm sorry. I don't see nobody beating them.
Man, they ain't gonna let Lamar Jackson get that type of talent around him, man. They not. They don't want that type of talent around him. You see, they try to retire that nigga as soon as he got hurt. Yep. Like he can't play ever again. He needs to retire right now.
Yep.
They want that nigga gone. It was like, bro, he too much close to being a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do not want him racking up all these passing yards and these touchdowns. And
shit. He is. He's one of us. He's a Hebrew Israelite. He's Polynesian. I mean, he's black, so he's one of us. But if I got to pick, man, I'm picking Lamar Jackson, man. That's just me, because I just feel that Lamar would be. They won't need to. The reason why I say Lamar is just an upgrade is because Tua is probably the most elite quarterback that can pass the ball and be a game manager. But Lamar Jackson is that. Plus, you don't need to shop for a running back with the Dolphins, because Lamar's going to get you over 100 rushing yards. So you don't even need to worry about the rushing. You got him as both quarterback and running back. And then you got those weapons, man, as receivers. I mean, that puts so much pressure on teams having to play the Dolphins. And the Dolphins already got a great defense. Who's beating that team? They don't look three. Could you imagine if Lamar Jackson is on the current Dolphins roster? We're talking about 6-0 right now. They're not 3-3. They are not 3-3. I'm being honest with y'all. They ain't 3-3.
Yeah, it's 6-0 for sure. Because the passes that these guys be dropping on a regular, and these guys not being able to get no separation, it ain't shit but separation with Miami.
Yep.
That's all the fuck the receivers do. Right off the line, these niggas got separation. That is ridiculous, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then Lamar has a way stronger arm than Tua, so he could get it everywhere.
Everywhere.
They don't got to slow up to catch the ball either. You talking about off to the races. This nigga like he back in Louisville.
Exactly. Because with Tua, as great as Tua is, Tua got to get in the rhythm. Lamar don't need rhythm. That's why Lamar, remember Richy Rich when he was like Lamar was forcing the throw? Lamar is so good that Lamar could make bad plays look good. And he believes in his skill set so much that sometimes he'll just force it. Because he's one of those guys. He's like a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan talent that plays football. You know how Jordan and Kobe out the gate, they can go 0 to 100 and then they could just dominate? That's Lamar right there. Lamar could just dominate at any given time. And for a defense, you have to account for a dude like that. Whereas Tua has to get in the rhythm. If Tua's not in a rhythm in that game, you're going to lose. But once Tua gets going, it's a nightmare for you. But I wanted your assessment on the Colts and the Titans, Richy Rich. What was your assessment on that?
I mean, I believe Derrick Henry's going to do his thing in that game. Last time they played a few weeks ago, Derrick Henry, he ran for over 100 yards. Titans, they were able to come on. They were able to have a bye, so he's going to be well rested. They're at home this time. He's going to do more of the same. He's going to run for over 100 plus yards. Titans, they have a solid defense as well. So if Jonathan Taylor isn't there, they're going to be able to put some pressure on Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, he looked good last week. He was able to, get 300 yards, throw a couple of touchdowns. He was able to hit his receivers, and they got that dub. But I don't think the Colts are better than the Titans. I think the Titans are just a better football team.
Your hesitation behind that one, and I get why your hesitation was like that. Your hesitation behind that was because Matt Ryan was playing against a comfortable defense, right?
Yeah.
So you feel this week because he's going to be pressured, it ain't going to be the same, right?
It's not going to be the same. I think Mike Vrabel, he's a solid head coach. He used to play for Bill Belichick, so he approaches the game like that dude. Yep. So he has his teams well prepared.
Yeah, and when he was playing for the Patriots, they were a well-oiled machine defensively. So yes, they gonna gear up. They gonna gear up against Matt Ryan. They gonna gear up for his ass.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Packers and the Commodores. Before you guys give your assessment, I'm gonna say this: Aaron Rodgers should play well in this game. I mean, in my honest opinion, Aaron Rodgers is the Stephen Curry of football. He's garbage. I feel like he's a subpar game manager, and that's what I have him at best. I think he's overrated. I don't
overrated,
think he's the player that everybody says that he is.
Yeah, he's overrated. He ain't garbage. The nigga, what, a 4-time MVP or something like that?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Those 4-time MVPs that they gave him, let's be honest, 2 of them should have went to Lamar Jackson. The other 2 should have went to Tom Brady. Like, he shouldn't have no MVPs. If you want me to be honest with you, shouldn't have them. Period. They just gave it to him. The guy has went 12 playoff runs. I mean, you said that so eloquently, Ross. 12 playoff runs, and what he's been 0-12. You know, I think they overrate this guy.
Yeah, he's overrated, but overrated and garbage are 2 different things. He's definitely overrated. You gotta understand, whenever you're a pocket quarterback, you white, and you have anything good going for you, it's gonna be like the best thing they ever seen. Right now, they're saying Justin Herbert is great. Justin Herbert has accomplished nothing. But I said Justin Herbert is better than everybody playing football right now. And he ain't accomplished shit. No MVPs, no nothing. So I don't overreact to overrating. I know what it is. He can play football. He just ain't as good as they say he is. They're trying to say he's better than Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying.
Even though he don't. But thing is, that's just. I don't have to call him trash. Just to state the obvious, he's not better than Tom Brady because he's just not.
And you know who started that narrative? The typical coin Negro, Stephen A. Smith. They used him to start that crap.
Stephen A. Smith, what?
Once Stephen A. Smith ran with that whole Aaron Rodgers, because he's Aaron Rodgers, everybody started running with that bullshit.
Right. Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Smith is a prime example that you can pay a New York nigga to say anything. Straight up, man. Just look at this nigga. Noriega. You call Kanye on the show. You call him on that show. You said, "I know this is gonna be controversial, but we rocking with you." Soon as these white folks start crying, your ass talking about, I apologize. I owe it to the fans to be apologetic. Blase, because you could pay these niggas if they feel like they can get more money or it's gonna compromise the money they have. They put money above integrity and principles. There's very few niggas I met from New York that stand up niggas. Very few.
They always got some underhanded, underbelly, ulterior motive, grimy type shit that they want to do.
Only niggas I met from that side over there is niggas from Jersey and niggas from Brooklyn. Those have been the only stand up niggas. All the rest of them niggas is not stand up niggas. Them niggas is frauds, man. All the niggas in New York is frauds.
They shifty as fuck. Now, Richy, what's your take
my
on
circle
it?
while I was in the Navy was all niggas from the South, niggas from the Chi, and niggas from Jersey and Brooklyn. All the rest of them niggas was frauds.
That's right. You right about that. What's your take on it, man? What's your assessment of the Packers and the Commodores? Did I say Commodores again? Commanders.
Yeah, you keep saying Commodores. I was like, that would be some Haitian shit, boy. It said Commanders, boy. But at the end of the day, I don't
respect that new name, man. That new name sounds weird to me, man.
At the end of the day,
I'd rather say Redskins.
At the end of the day, I don't lose no sleep behind no nigga not saying a slave master language properly. We ain't supposed to be speaking that shit. Those niggas made us speak that. They made.
If I butcher it, the more butchering I do, the better.
Right. Just like the Haitians, man. Haitians speak French, but they speak their own version of French. Fuck that language. Y'all Creole is the Ebonics for black French motherfuckers. Creole is Ebonics. You know what I'm saying? Just like we got our own Ebonics in English. Fuck that language, man. Keep on saying the Commodores.
Yeah, fuck French, man. I'll speak Haitian Creole all day, every day. Fuck French.
Keep on saying the Commodores, man.
Yeah, Commodores like a motherfucker. Richy Rich, what's your take on it, man, with the Packers and the Commodores?
boys wild, man. Well, but my take on the Packers and the Commanders, Packers, Aaron Rodgers couldn't ask for a prayer to come more sooner. You know, he's gonna be able to take advantage of this team, man. The Packers looked like they were a team that was free falling because the teams that they were playing on a week to week basis. You know, that Packers team, you know, he just looks like he don't got a true number one receiver out there, so he can't ball out the way he used to. He's a quarterback that needs that type of receiver to thrive out there. If you don't have that,
man, that motherfucker fell off. When Donald Driver left the game, he fell off. He fell all the way off.
I mean, he was able with Deion when Adams was there.
With Devontae, he was putting in work.
Yeah,
but he needs that number one guy. Aaron Rodgers is not better than Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson,
football, man.
You in the game no matter who the fuck line up at a wide receiver. You in the game with Lamar Jackson no matter who line up at wide receiver. It could be me, you, and Richy wide receiver. This nigga's still in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this nigga, him and Tom Brady like that too. They gotta have that number one, or else they gonna struggle, boy.
But see what I like about Tom Brady always have three options. He'll have a running back that's like a slant running back that could just be able to be out there as a decoy to pass. He always have that tight end, and he always have a running back. Tom Brady does the same thing Aaron Rodgers do, but he do three options with it, and I think that's what saved Tom Brady. Whereas Aaron Rodgers is one or done. You know, Donald Driver would have had a longer, more flourishing wide receiver career if he was not up under Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers actually got him hurt a lot of times. Because Aaron Rodgers threw the ball to him way too fucking much.
He thought if Aaron Rodgers is just Aaron Rodgers, when it comes to player safety, he's just like Matt Stafford, man. You know, all he care about is him making the right throw. He don't care exactly. He don't care exactly about how to protect the receivers. Like this nigga will throw you right into a head-on collision, man.
Exactly.
He'll get up for keep like you was open. Like, bro, you could throw me open to the other side and make me turn around and catch the ball. You running me right into a fucking middle linebacker, getting my head knocked off, man.
Because Donald Driver's a slant receiver, and I saw how many times Donald Driver ran into a crackback. I seen it. I'm like, damn, dog. Aaron Rodgers don't care about this dude. I would think he was slanting him out. No, he kept slanting him in.
All Aaron Rodgers care about is his fucking his completion rate, man.
Yep.
Like this dude do not make the plays to win games. He just make the plays that say he's like LeBron, man. LeBron don't care about winning plays. LeBron care about
that stat sheet.
Correct plays that's gonna make sure his stats bulk up.
That's why I hated when LeBron was playing on Miami Heat. This dude tried to out-rebound. You remember this, Richy? He tried to out-rebound Chris Bosh just to get 10 rebounds. I'm like, dude, you got Chris Bosh down there. Why you trying to do that? The hell is wrong with you?
That's all this nigga care about. His stats, man.
So let's answer this dude's question here. Bronco Play said, standard 8-man league. Who I trade away for who? Thank you. 3 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. Running back, Cook, Kamara, Jay Wilson, Patterson, Hunt, wide receiver, Mike Williams, Sutton, Higgins, Moore, and D. Smith. What y'all take on that?
I can't really answer for who because I'm not in your league. I don't know who available. But from Cook, Kamara, Jay Wilson, Patterson, and Hunt, man, get rid of that nigga Jay Wilson, man. Get rid of him. Why you even got him? Fuck you got Jay Wilson for?
You know, sometimes dude in fantasies, they ain't got no choice. They get in late, and sometimes they just got to pick a motherfucker. You know how that should be sometimes.
I can see why he went after Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson, you know, he may seem laughable, but I understand why you got Jay Wilson. That guy, he's been producing some numbers, man. You know, ever since because the 49ers first back, he's injured, K. Mitchell. So this guy, they had to resort to putting him in, and he's been producing. He didn't produce last week. He had only 25 yards. But that's the Falcons. They're playing against the Chiefs. Chiefs' run defense is terrible. Jay Wilson might break out in this week. So he might be a nice little sleeper pick.
Right.
Kamara, they're going up against the Cardinals. The Cardinals' run defense is pretty good. So Kamara, he might not ball out in this game, but he still might be able to get you some receiving yards.
Right. Yeah, but he's not asking who to play. He's asking who to trade like forever.
Who to trade? Okay.
Yeah, he's asking who to trade. So if he asking who to play, that's week by week. But who to trade? That's Jay Will. Get rid of him. And wide receiver, you got Mike Williams, Sutton, Higgins, Moore, and D. Smith. Get rid of Sutton.
You should trade Kareem Hunt. From the Browns. He's the workhorse guy on the Browns. We already know who the workhorse guy is. It's not Hunt.
It's Chubb.
It's Chubbs.
I still think Hunt gonna score more points than Will though. But yeah, you're right. It is Chubbs.
But
wide receiver, I say get rid of Sutton because it's a lot of shit going on in Denver, man. It's so much shit wrong in Denver right now, and until they get that right, man, Sutton ain't got no chance.
Yeah, when you got your quarterback, that's not on speed, you got a new coach. And my thing with the Broncos is, why is John Elway still GM? Let's just be honest. He profited off of Peyton Manning being there, but since Peyton Manning left, he's had an opportunity to have an elite quarterback. What has he done with that?
Truth be told, the Peyton Manning, the first year Peyton Manning showed up, Peyton Manning was on fire. Well, he had something to prove because he felt like the coach let him down. But the last years, Peyton Manning was trash, man.
It was the defense carrying him.
But they put so much talent around Peyton Manning because they wanted him to succeed. Why the fuck they need to do that for Russell Wilson too?
Yep.
That's the reason why Peyton Manning won. Peyton Manning was trash. The reason why the Seattle ran through them like that, because Peyton Manning was throwing ducks and they was catching them shits out the air, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Like them weak ass ducks, man. You know what I mean? Like, thank you. Interception. That should have gone the other way. like techno ball. Interception. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like that. But the reason why he's even in a Super Bowl because they put so much talent around him.
Because you guys know how Techno Bowl was. You got to be efficient with that throwing, boy. If you throw it wrong, it's over.
That's why I ran the ball most times. When you pass that bitch, boy, and you always got somebody cheating or looking over your shoulder trying to see what button you press so they can press it too. Because that's how you stop somebody. Y'all got to pick the same play at the same time and they won't get it.
Yep.
Boy, that passing play, man, when they intercept that shit, it's going to be a touchdown automatically.
Richy Rich, when I get down there, man, we're going to play that Madden, dog. Get ready.
You already know.
So let's get to the next one. Texans and the Raiders. Who's the top player and who's the player that you guys feel is going to nut up that whole week?
I think Derek Carr, he's going to show out in that game. Devontae Adams is going to show out. You know, they're starting to get a connection with each other, even though they're not winning ball games. You could see they're starting to build a rhythm. You know, where he's finding him more. He's and they're getting plays. Also, their running back Jacobs, man, that dude has been running well. I think they're gonna be able to do their thing on the Texans, passing wise, running wise. So you could look at Carr, you could look at Adams, and you could look at Jacobs. The person I think that's gonna struggle is on the other end, the Mills, man, for the Texans. Mm-hmm. You know, there was a little hype coming in for this guy at the beginning of the season, but so far this guy's disappointed, man. Their quarterback, David Mills.
The thing, man. These scouts consistently get it wrong all the time because they don't really be looking. All they be looking for is a nigga white and is he tall? Yeah, okay, he a QB. A lot of these niggas they be saying supposed to be cold be trash, man. Mills is trash, man. Baker Mayfield wasn't even tall. And they just choose him because they didn't want to choose Lamar Jackson to be number one. He trash, man. Sam Darnold booty. Josh Rosen even in the league, they be making. They be saying anybody gonna be cold. If you white, they be like, yeah, there's a lot of potential for him to be the greatest of all time. Like they just be throwing anything out there and be white. Like God damn. Meanwhile, when you look at the nigga in college is marginal. You like, how the fuck they saying this nigga supposed to be the greatest of all time? Damn, no signature wins.
We X-rated over here, man. So if you don't want to hear certain things, hey, you're gonna hear it anyways.
For that dude, Bronco players, he should go after that running back on the Texans, Damon Pierce. That's a dude to look out for. That dude has been consistent with his running numbers. Right. So if you trying to go get another running back, try to see if you can go get Damon Pierce. That dude has been consistent week in to week out. He's the one that's carrying the Texans right now.
Another gem, another jewel, Damon Pierce. That's a guy for you guys to look out for. Fantasy football hopefuls and fantasy football enthusiasts. So let's get to the Seahawks and the Chargers. Who's the players to look out for, and who's the players that's gonna nut it up?
DK Metcalf. Anytime he's on the field, man, that dude could beat you deep, or he could take a 2-yard pass to the house. You got Justin Herbert got so many receivers on his side that he should have big numbers every time he plays. To be honest, so
basically he stacks to be successful.
Austin Eckler, man, he's like that dude. He's like a version of Marshall Faulk. I'm not putting him on Marshall Faulk's level,
right?
But
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
poor man version.
Yeah, that's that dude, man. You know, he's gonna be able to generate a lot of points for you because he can do it all. He can run, he can catch out the backfield and get yards. He does it all from a running from that perspective. So that's the guy to pay attention to. And they're playing against the Seahawks. Seahawks defense is a little shaky. It's suspect. So that dude's gonna generate points. Also, Mike Williams, man, that six receiver they have on that team. That dude, man, he always has them quarterbacks as a disadvantage.
Yeah, motherfucker 6'5".
Yeah, he's 6'5", and that's Herbert's favorite target.
Yeah, we haven't seen a receiver that tall and that dangerous since Megatron, man. When you got a guy big like that and explosive like that and tall like that, you can just throw the ball up and it's over. And that's why I liked about Megatron. Megatron knew when to get out. Some guys just don't know when to get out. He knew when to get out, man.
He was playing with Matthew Stafford, man. That's hell for a receiver. Because when you're a great receiver, Matthew Stafford will throw you the ball every fucking play. And he's throwing you and he's running you into traffic, so you get smacked every play. Like, bro, that's a lot of punishment. Yep. This nigga was taking more punishment that he was playing with Matthew Stafford. He was taking punishment like he was a running back, man.
Yep.
Cause he was still throwing the ball in traffic every time.
Yeah, that's why he got out, man. He didn't want to be, a concussion-prone type of football player. And that's what people don't understand. And that's why there's the argument. Ross has been making that argument, but a lot of people have been making that argument when it comes to football that positions like the running back, positions like the wide receiver, positions like tight end are more important than the quarterback position because not only do they have to catch the ball, the quarterback, or they got to get the touch that the quarterback throws and dumps off to them, they got to also evade the tackle way more than the quarterback does. And then they have to block. Even when they're not in the play for them to get the pass, running backs have a secondary requirement of blocking. Tight ends, their primary requirement next to passing the ball, as a matter of fact, that's their primary requirement, and passing the ball is their secondary. Tight ends have to block because they part of the O-line. And then you got the wide receivers. They have to do some element of blocking as well, too, especially when the play is a run play. So those guys, man, they they're kind of like basically offense and defense type of players when you think about it. The versatility that they have to play with. So those positions are frowned upon, but those positions should be respected more so than the normal positions that everybody alludes to. So that's why I want to see the evolution of the running back come back, and that's why I'm banking on Saquon Barkley. That's why I'm rooting for Saquon Barkley's success, because I feel like the running back position is going to be. It's like he put it on his shoulder. If Saquon Barkley dominates the running back position the way that I know he can dominate it, and he has been, it's going to bring back this whole thing where the NFL is going to have to look at guys like that again and pay them top dollar. So that's why I want him to thrive. I want him to be successful.
They had to tear him down. They had to tear the other players down so they could get a environment that will accept the fact that the QBs, the non-athletic players, are the best players in football. No matter how good a QB was, they were never considered the best player in football because they didn't do much.
Yep.
Physically, it was always a defensive end, a middle linebacker, a running back, a wide receiver, a corner, a safety. It was always a skilled position who really had to play football. So for them to get you to think like that, they had to devalue those guys and make it a passing league. And what you do when you make it a passing league, that means you take the advantage away from the defense. So defensive guys, they're not even respected like they used to be no more.
Yeah.
Because they can't even play defense. That's the reason why they're not respected like they used to be. Because they can't. You used to be scared of some defensive guys because they would kill you if you came across the middle. Now it's just they took that away from them. Running backs get half the carries they used to get. Starting running back used to average 25 carries.
25 to 30. Easy.
Starting running back used to get 25, 30 touches every game.
Yep. And if
you
you
didn't be happy if they get 12.
You get 30 to 40.
You didn't be happy if they get 12.
Yep.
And then if they're doing good, like Baltimore, they want the team when you come back to them. It ain't no reason why Drake can get more carries, man.
Yeah, what they've done is they've taken away the durability from those guys. Richy Rich will tell you psychologically, it's always had an impact on him, whether we play basketball or football. When we played basketball, I always told him, even though I was the best player, I always told him he was the most important player when we played basketball, because he was the most important player when we played. When we played football, I always told him he was the best player because he was the best player when we played football, because he was the wide receiver, he was the running back, he was everything. And then on the defensive side, you know, I was kind of like linebacker / safety, and he was the DB. He had to guard the best receiver. The pressure that boy had every time we played football was insane. So I always would be in his ear, hey, man, you the best, man. You know, what you do is invaluable, man. I need you. I need you to deliver, because if you deliver, we win. That's what's missing. You don't get that. And I know quarterbacks are not doing that. Quarterbacks are too busy looking for their completion. They're looking for their plays. They're not putting that. They're not breathing that into those other positions in football, because those other positions are where it's at, man. Those guys are the guys that are football. When you think of football players, you think of those guys because not only are they the most athletic, they're the ones that put the most beating on their bodies. When you think of a cornerback not only has to guard the wide receiver, the cornerback has to also basically be fast enough to catch a running back if a running back's running out in the backfield, and the quarterback has to block. You got to think of these athletic positions. These athletic positions are not just doing one thing. They're doing so many things simultaneously. A linebacker has to be an anchor for not only the defensive line, but he has to be an anchor for the safety and the secondary too. Yeah. Where the secondary can't pick up, where the DBs can't pick up, he's the buffer in between. That's why sometimes when you had elite linebackers back in the day, like the Ray Lewises, these guys used to get interceptions and stuff like that because they have to play both sides of the defensive equation. And then here's the thing with defensive guys that are athletic like that. When they do get the fumble, they run it back. Because guess what they doing when they get the ball? They got to run it. They try to run to get a touchdown. So those positions are heavily overlooked for the over-glamorizing and the lazy position of quarterback. A quarterback is lazy, man. Outside of throwing the ball and having to deal with like the mental part of knowing your playbook, The quarterback has it pretty easy. If you give him a stacked O-line, a great O-line, and that quarterback has a decent arm, and that quarterback can get the ball to the receivers, then that quarterback will almost always not get touched in the football game.
Why you
If we're
think
being
these
honest
motherfuckers
about
be
that.
getting hurt? As soon as they get hit, they be getting hurt. They don't even work on their bodies, on their athleticism.
Yep.
They get hit one good time and be hurt. Hey,
Yep.
damn.
Look at Dak Prescott. Even over the years with him, his body's gotten sloppy. You only find some quarterbacks who have the body and the makeup of a guy who's not just a quarterback, like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is built like he plays one of those athletic positions. Michael Vick was like that. Michael Vick is built like he played another one of those other positions too. And those guys, to me, are actually more dominating quarterbacks. That's why I always respect Steve Young. When Richy used to talk about Steve Young, he was right. Steve Young, if I'm talking about one of the white boy quarterbacks that can ball, and that's why I have so much respect for Brett Favre. These guys, they put their body on the line. They weren't just throwing the football. Brett Favre didn't do all of that. You know how these weak ass quarterbacks, they just basically kind of just dive. Nah, Brett Favre ain't diving. These guys ain't diving. Let's be honest. They ain't no damn dive. All right, Ross. They ain't no damn diving. These guys are actually playing football. These guys are actually absorbing hits. And a lot of times it may cause them to be concussion oriented, but that's what's missing with football, man. And this is why football has become a diluted sport, because with football, you have this element of quarterbacks can't be touched. Everybody's supposed to be touched. Especially the quarterback too. If we want to know how elite you are as a quarterback, we want to see you under the pressure. We want to see you under the gun. We want to see you touched, because if you get touched, then that tells us if you can make plays under pressure. They still touch you up real good in college. They damn sure still touch you up real good in high school. How come they go backwards and they don't touch you up when it comes to the NFL? And that is where the NFL politics, that's where the Roger Goodells, that's where the sport has diluted its standard, man. I miss the days. Remember the days when you had that dude. What was that dude's name? When a quarterback used to get sacked, he used to go zip, zip. I remember that. You remember that shit? Zip. Yeah. I miss those days, man. And it's just like when a wide receiver will make a play, he'll go zoop, zip, zip, zip. And he had that voice. I forgot the dude's name, man. That dude was good with that shit. When a guy would run, he'd be like, zoop, 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 zoop. But I used to miss those days, man. And they used to have a segment every week. You guys know the segment. It was on Sundays. It was with Terry Bradshaw and them. When quarterbacks get sacked, they called it a specific name.
When you talking about NFL prime time.
NFL prime time. I miss those days, man. They need to
Chris Berman.
Yeah, they used to bring all this shit back because they used to
and Tom Jackson.
Then Tom Jackson. They used to get on the quarterbacks when the quarterbacks get cracked back, man. And that's the problem with the NFL. They don't allow these quarterbacks to get cracked back no more, man.
We ain't never going back to them days. Ever since that whole CTE stuff was brought to the forefront, they're gonna do whatever they can to protect these players now.
Yeah, but here's the thing: players are having CTE in high school. You know what I mean? Hits people sustain in high school.
That's true.
That's not going away. That's not going away. People already have CTE problems in high school, so let's not even think about college when they start playing college. In college, they've already passed the concussion protocol 1,000 times over, just so that the good old boys can have those guys play on the field. By the time 90% of the players show up in NFL football, let's be honest, they've already been concussed so many times over. You see where I'm going with this?
I'm back.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous to have all of this. We're going to do precautions and all this bullshit, man. It dilutes the game of football. It takes away from football, and it takes away from the fact that quarterbacks cannot be touched. And I want them to be touched.
That's more injuries.
Those are two different issues. They gotta do CTE protocol, because I don't want nobody dying for the sake of football. The problem I have with the parity, right? The parity of the cause. So you got Tom Brady who gets tackled regularly, and they call it a pass, and they call it roughing the pass. It was a regular tackle. If you're gonna call that like that, then you got to call that for every quarterback. And if you're not gonna call that for every quarterback, then you got to understand that Tom Brady should just retire.
Mm-hmm.
If you're afraid he's gonna get hurt, he should retire. Since he didn't retire, then he gets hit like every other quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in full agreement. I'm in full agreement with you, Ross. I want CTE protocol. What I'm saying is quarterbacks are supposed to get touched too. I want them to be touched. Football is a contact sport. It's like they've gone away from football and they've sissified it to the point to where everybody can get touched, but the quarterback and the kicker, man, back in the days, kickers used to be afraid to kick the football, man, because they knew your ass is getting sacked. We might take your leg too. I miss those days, man. Now it's like you try to get near somebody. Oh, you suspended for 3-4 games. What the fuck is that?
You're not understanding the reason why. The reason why that is because the majority of kickers is what? White. The majority of quarterbacks is what? White. That's the reason why there's no parity. Why the majority of black quarterbacks don't even get past it. They don't even get roughing the passer calls. Black quarterbacks still get touched. There's white quarterbacks that don't get touched. Black quarterbacks still get touched. And that's the reason why I don't have no respect for none of the black defensive players, because they'll have an opportunity to really rock a white quarterback, and they won't even do it.
Yeah.
Every time they have a chance to rock a black quarterback, they make sure they do that shit.
Yep.
That's why I don't even respect black defensive players, because even in their own mind, they treat white quarterbacks better. If you got a chance to rock him, man.
Yeah, man, rock his ass.
And if you're not gonna rock him, don't rock nobody.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if all those quarterbacks was getting touched up, you would find out that 75% of these quarterbacks, these types of quarterbacks, are garbage. They can't handle the pressure. And that's why if you guys remember, there used to be football teams that knew, okay, you know what? We running the blitz package all day on this motherfucker, man. He getting sacked all day. Right. I miss those days, man. You knew what was coming. The defense made it obvious because they knew they was playing a garbage quarterback. So they blitzing every play. Right. Because they knew once that quarterback got touched, it was over for that motherfucker. They just knew it.
Eventually check out.
Yep, he check out. So they don't care about the receivers. Man, they don't even. You had DBs that didn't even. They blew their own coverage because everybody knew if we hit this motherfucker, fumble, and we going the other way. I miss those days of football, man. I really do. But let's get to the next game. Chiefs and the 49ers, man. I already know the bias Richy Rich gonna have with the 49ers, but in his bias, I'm sure he's still gonna give an expert assessment. Who's going to ball out and who's not?
In this game, I could see, like the 49ers, I could see Garoppolo actually stepping up because, Chiefs defense, Chiefs defense is not that good,
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be able to get the ball out to Debo, to Brandon Ayuk.
I tell you that bias was gonna come out.
It's not a bias. It's Chiefs defense is not that good, bro. It's not a bias.
So he gonna outplay Patrick Mahomes?
No, he's not gonna outplay Patrick Mahomes. Garoppolo is a game manager, but he's going to manage the game and where, because 49ers they're a team that likes to run the basketball. My bad. Run the foot, but they like to run the football. So they're gonna try to keep the ball away from Patrick Mahomes. Pretty much, they're gonna try to take control of the time of possession.
One thing I like about Patrick Mahomes, he's so dominant because he's the other dominant quarterback outside of Lamar Jackson. That dude is so dominant. It don't matter how much you try to take the game away from him. When he gets on that floor, he's gonna score. You best believe that when he gets on that field, he's scoring.
Well, I mean, it's he hasn't done that, like every week. There's teams that he struggles against. 49ers are one of the teams that they're capable of making him struggle because they have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. They can get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and it's not like the Chiefs have a really strong running game.
Mm-hmm.
That Edwards-Helaire, that small running back they have on their team,
Mm-hmm.
he's a tough running back, but he's not
he's the one that's gonna struggle, man.
Yeah, he's the one that's gonna struggle.
I got that motherfucker on my fantasy team. He been struggling all year.
He don't really produce, so he's not gonna produce against the Niners defense. Niners, they had guys out, some of their best defenders out last week. It's the reason why the Falcons were able to take advantage of that. But some of these guys are gonna be back in this game, and they're gonna be able to make an impact. So for the 49ers, I go with Garoppolo. I think he's gonna step up in this game, because he took blame last week. So I could see him showing up in this game, and he's gonna be able to get you some fantasy points. He's gonna throw a couple touchdowns. Edwards-Helaire, don't play him. If he's on your fantasy team, don't play him. He's not gonna produce on that 49ers defense.
Yep. What about you, Ross?
Yeah, Edwards-Helaire, he's definitely by far gonna be the motherfucker who not gonna perform, gonna choke. Who gonna perform? Deebo Samuel's gonna perform, and Patrick Mahomes gonna perform. Keep your eyes open for a nice choke from Garoppolo. He's due for a good one. He ain't had a good one yet. He's due for a good choke.
Yep, I got him choking real bad in this game. He's gonna choke bad. He's probably gonna get sacked a few times, and I feel like he's gonna have 3 interceptions. That's what I feel.
God,
3 picks against the Chiefs. Come on, man.
3.
Chiefs defense is terrible.
3. He's gonna have 3 picks. 3 picks. I'm telling you right now, sometimes terrible defenses will turn around and surprise you, man. You won't be you could be surprised sometimes in football.
They do got a terrible defense, but they're not playing against they ain't playing against no hella fire nigga like that.
Yeah, exactly. You act like Garoppolo nice like
that. I never said that now.
Garoppolo not gonna be able to take advantage of the mistakes they make.
Yeah.
He gonna throw it right to their ass.
He's a borderline game manager at that.
Listen, man. Garoppolo is a semi-pro league QB.
He's an NFL.
That's what he is. With Garoppolo's skill set, if he was not white, he would not be in the league. He's not nice like that. All he do is hand the ball off. His best play is when you get rid of that bitch immediately. Garoppolo's best play when he get rid of that bitch immediately, man. Turn around and get that bitch away. He got to hold on to that bitch longer than 3 seconds. It's over with.
Oh, man. Hey, let's get to the Dolphins and the Steelers, man. Obviously, Tua's back. We got to see how he's going to look concussion protocol wise, but who y'all got really balling out in this game, and who y'all got struggling?
I got the Jet, motherfucking what's his name, balling out. Tyreek Hill balling out, and I got the Kenny Pickett, the quarterback. He's decent, but he's young, he's fresh, and I think that Miami defense gonna tear a hole in his ass, man. they about to blitz him like nobody's business.
They should.
They gonna see what he really made of.
They should rock his world, man.
They gonna see what he really made of.
I'm picking the Dolphins to win, so I want them to rock his world. What about you, Richy Rich?
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, if Tua has a good game, a solid game. He's gonna be able to put up some numbers on that Steelers defense. You know, although they were able to limit the Bucs, you know, I don't think they're going to be able to do the same against the Dolphins.
They're not, because wanna know why? They always gonna be on defense. They're gonna be tired, man.
Yeah,
They
they're
gonna
going
stay
to
on
be tired,
defense.
and the Bucs receivers are not like those Dolphins receivers. Those guys are always applying pressure because those guys are speed demons, man.
Right.
They're you know, they put a lot of pressure on your secondary, Waddle and Hill, and you know Gesicki. He's a tight end to watch out for too. He's gonna be able to get you some numbers. I think Tua's gonna connect with him a few times, and he's gonna have a touchdown. You know, so pay attention to him. Kenny Pickett, he's not gonna. He's just the quarterback going through the motion. So obviously avoid him. I think Najee Harris, keep him on the pine too, because that dude, I don't think he's gonna shine against the Dolphins. I think this is gonna be a game where the Dolphins, Tua's back, and their emotions gonna be riding high, and that's just gonna be a game where they're just gonna dominate the Steelers in that game.
Matter of fact, I'm finna take Najee Harris off right now.
I hear it. Najee Harris, y'all better take him off with the swiftness.
This motherfucker, boy. I understand that offensive line ain't the best, but damn, give me something. Shit.
that was animated, but it was truthful. So Najee Harris, y'all better get rid of him. Now let's get to the last game. Patriots and the Bears. Who's gonna show up and who's gonna nut it up?
I'm gonna go again with your boy, man, Ramondre Stevenson, man. You can't go wrong with him. Have that. You gotta have that back. If you can somehow get that running back, get him, man, because he's gonna deliver again.
You think he's gonna groom? You think he's gonna groom into a superstar? Because he keeps heating up every week.
Yeah, I believe he's gonna be one of the top backs in the game. You know, this guy, he's consistent, man. You know. He always gets it seems like he always has a rushing touchdown every week, but he's picking up those big boy yards too.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bears running defense is not that good.
What's his strength? What's his strength as a running back that you like the most?
His strength as a running back, I mean, it's his yards per carry. That dude is able to pick up those tough yards,
which is a lost art in today's football, and that's probably why he's standing out. Because that used to be the standard for running backs, man. Yards per carry. You used to judge a running back based on their yards per carry, man. But running back ain't averaging, 5 or more yards per carry. They ain't shit.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can go 3.5 and you decent.
Now, I still think about Najee Harris, man. That motherfucker has been a disgrace, boy.
You must have him on your team. That's why.
Yeah, man. He has been a disgrace.
Exactly. I mean, you could go with that Bears running back.
Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, homeboy been consistent too.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, I got him.
So maybe
that's one dude that's helping Justin Fields out.
Sub for that, Ross.
So what?
Maybe you might need to sub it out.
Nah, he said he started. I know about Khalil Herbert.
Okay.
I got like 4 different teams. He started on one of my teams.
Okay.
For sure.
He's the only really producer. He's the only real producer from the Bears. You can't go with Justin Fields because the coach ain't looking out for him.
Well, no.
Don't go with any of those receivers on the Bears. None of those guys. Yeah, all those receivers are trash.
These niggas get open just to let the ball hit them in their numbers. The ball just fall off their numbers and shit.
We don't talk about him enough, and I don't think he gets enough love. You guys have mentioned his name, but man, a black quarterback that's been quietly doing great things is Jalen Hurts, man. I feel like he need to get more love.
Jalen Hurts.
I feel like he need to get more love because he's been since last year going into this year, man. This dude has been over 80%. And he's just not getting enough love, man. I need y'all to tell the audience about Jalen Hurts, man. Break it down, man.
Well, the thing is, Philadelphia has done what the Ravens need to do. Philadelphia has done what a lot of coaches need to do. What Chicago Bears need to do. They have surrounded a young black quarterback with actual weapons, so he don't have to do everything himself.
Mm-hmm.
This dude has everything to win. Great, decent offensive line, great defense, great targets, great passing targets, and a decent running back. He got everything to succeed because Philadelphia has actually invested in him.
Facts.
Exactly. They went and got a true number one receiver in A.J. Brown. Right. This is what they should have did. The Ravens should have did in the offseason when Lamar Jackson got hurt last year. They should have invested in Lamar Jackson by going after playmakers to put around him to take all that pressure off him. But they didn't do that.
Facts.
Because low key, they trying to get Lamar Jackson at the lowest point at the lowest percentage possible, point price possible. And how they do that is low key. They got to self-sabotage. That's the reason. If you ask me, that's the reason why these game plans are just changing all of a sudden. As soon as Lamar Jackson go up 3 scores, they just change the play calling, the shit that don't make no sense. They want him to win hard. They want him to work as hard as he can to get these wins. That way he looks as worst as possible. They can pay him whatever they want to pay him.
And that's why I want him to keep his head down, keep doing what he's doing, be that workhorse that he is, and keep sticking it down their throats by him performing, because when it's all said and done, he's going to force their hands regardless. And even if they decide not to pay him when he does sit out, because he's been balling out of control, somebody's going to pick his ass up. Everybody's going to be lining up ready to pick his ass up. That's what I'm hoping for him to not get injured. Have my best hopes and wishes that he keeps balling out of control so that he can always be a viable option and keep his situation management-wise the way it is. He's self-managing himself, because that right there in and of itself is putting pressure on the league.
His mother manages him.
Yep. It puts pressure on the league by doing that, because it puts him in a position where he doesn't have to fold or acquiesce to the social norms or whatever the current trends are for a quarterback, period. Right. I just love that about him, that he gets to dictate the pace and he gets to put the pressure. Because let me tell you something, by the end of the season, he's doing it the right way. He's playing football. He's not complaining. He's not doing it. So then when the season is over and he does start talking, no one can say, well, during the season you did this, you didn't know. He actually played the season. So if he decides to sit out, they franchise tag him by next year, he'll be well within his right to do that. Because guess what? He played that season. There was no complaints, and he put up numbers. And that right there speaks volumes. Whether you're a white quarterback, black quarterback, you name it, it speaks volumes to teams and organizations that, okay, this guy right here valued the game. Because you know how they are with football. Do you value the game over everything? That's what he's doing. He's giving you guys what you want. He's valuing the game over everything else. So what more can you ask for him?
Exactly. Yep.
Because I've always said it, he's a completed version of Michael Vick. And it's not that Michael Vick wasn't complete. It's just Michael Vick was that type of quarterback that if he just didn't see the pass, he's running. He's taking off. And that's why guys like, Deshaun Jackson had problems with Michael Vick. It's not because Michael Vick don't see you. You just a whiny wide receiver that just wants your touches. Michael Vick don't see that you open, he's going. So he don't have that same level of patience. Whereas with Lamar Jackson, he's waiting, he sees the whole field and he's waiting until things break down. And then when things don't look like it's panning out, and it completely breaks down, then his legs get active. That's when he goes.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think a guy like that has that perfected style would be a hot commodity. But this is the thing. If you give Lamar Jackson, if we're being honest, the highest waging earner, the message you're sending is that this is what the standard of the best quarterback looks like. And I don't think they want to paint that picture. That's really what it all boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
If he's the first $300 million man guaranteed, because that's really what he deserves. 300, if you ask me, 300 million plus. If he's the first $300 million man guaranteed, it's gonna not only set a standard and a precedence that this is the standard of quarterback, it's gonna open the floodgates for other quarterbacks that are like that. And that's what the NFL is not ready to do, if we're being honest with ourselves. They want to preserve a certain type of quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're telling him 200. That's why you got this racist Ravens owner saying 200 and something million is too much. Are you fucking kidding me? When you got guys that are not even nowhere near Lamar Jackson's level making that kind of money. I mean, that's just ridiculous to me. Now all of a sudden that guaranteed money is too much for him. It's because you're not paying him what he deserves. You still got him on this rookie shit, and you're making it seem like, you know, this is what you want him to. If he continues on saying, yeah, franchise tag me, I'll play that way. Yeah, do you want him to do that and be happy? It's like they want to treat him like Michael Jordan. The days of Michael Jordan level talent getting underpaid is over in sports, period. Guys that are at that level are not getting underpaid. And you know who you thank for that? You thank Kobe Bryant. Because let me tell you something, that 2011 lockout, when the NBA had that, that's why Mark Cuban said that luxury tax this with Kobe. I know it's basketball, but Kobe kind of helped transition all sports when he did that. Kobe was like, look, man, I don't play for free. They're going to pay me. They're not paying me what they deserve me, but they're going to pay me top dollar. If I'm giving them top talent, I should get top earning. And it's because of those deals that Kobe Bryant was getting that set the tone for all of those guys you see that's getting the deals that they're getting later on, like Stephen Curry, LeBron James, and all of that. It's because of what Kobe said. If Kobe didn't say that, those owners were going to stifle those guys, man. They were going to rip those guys off. And they need to transition. And that's one thing that I could say basketball has over football, is the fact that basketball has a great player side of things that protect players in terms of their income and compensation, whereas football is not as protected. Now, there are some guys that have ruined it by getting top dollar and then not playing, but I don't believe that, you know, one shoes fits all, where one guy ruins it, then you got to blame everybody else. It don't work like that, because there are also stories of guys that have gotten paid top dollar and not only have delivered, but they've delivered beyond expectations. So you got to look at it from all sides of the equation. But other than that, man, you guys got anything else you want to mention in terms of things that people need to look out for from a fantasy football perspective?
No, man, I said everything I needed to say, man. I said everything I needed to say.
All right, cool. What about you, Richy Rich?
I think we covered everything we needed to cover, but to just add more on to that Lamar Jackson situation, I think that you know, that if he gets franchise tag, man, I don't like that move for him, because it's a risk. If he gets hurt in a franchise tag year, yeah, you're being paid top three in your position, top three earner in your position. But if you get hurt, that's it. You know, you know, they could play him for a full. It'd be like, okay, you got hurt, so we can't give you that max that you want. You know what I'm saying? That max money that you want. You got hurt and you weren't able to play the full year. You were able to get your franchise tag.
They're so quick to franchise tag them? Why you think they're so quick to do that?
Yeah, a lot of players have gotten ganked during when they were franchise tagged in the NFL. When they
Mm-hmm.
got hurt, if they got hurt in that franchise during the franchise tag year, they weren't able to lock in that long term deal that they wanted. That's how these NFL franchises get you. You know, I'm hoping that they just give Lamar his deal, man, and that he doesn't have to do that franchise tag because
And that's why in the CFL deal, the next CFL deal, they need to advocate. I mean, players don't have that kind of that kind of leverage and that kind of power, but to advocate, more protection when someone gets franchise tag. Like guaranteed money is guaranteed money and all of that. And I think that's what has fooled a lot of players because you get a guaranteed money. No, 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 man. Players are still getting screwed here. There has to be some level of protection for players when they get franchise tag, especially if they've been a player that's been productive. Because injuries is part of the sport. But if you got a player that has been injured but he hasn't been producing, I can understand that. That's one side of the equation where I could side with the owner. But when a player has been producing consistently and then they happen to get injured, especially when you haven't provided them with everything that they need, when you know damn well the Baltimore Ravens are making it a Lamar Jackson show and they're not really giving him the quality touches that he deserves, let's be honest here, man. A guy like that, if he gets hurt, you've got to find a way to protect him because they do that with other quarterbacks that get hurt. I've seen Tom Brady get hurt. I've seen Peyton Manning get hurt. I've seen Aaron Rodgers get hurt. I mean, I just watched Aaron Rodgers go through an offseason where he put the Green Bay Packers through hell just to get a new deal. They didn't say nothing to him. They gave him his deal. They let him pout. They let him cry. So if you're going to do that on one side of the equation, you got to also do that on the other side of the equation too. There has to be a balance. And that's where the NFL is that's the misgiving. And to be honest with you, that's a Roger Goodell issue right there. And I think Roger Goodell, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that Roger Goodell needs to be fired. Because I feel like Roger Goodell was sent to basically be this drill sergeant for football, but he's drill sergeanting in the wrong people. And it's disproportionate. Football did needed to get cleaned up from Talia Boo's reign or whatever, but it got to a point where the hand became so heavy to where now it's disproportionate to certain athletes. And you saw that from the Michael Vick situation and then going on from there. It just everything was so happy. And then they took away under Roger Goodell's regime, they took away celebration. Wide receivers, running backs can't celebrate. Man, they made the sport turn into, what's that? What's the name of that cartoon? Puff Girls. Am I saying it right? Saying it right? Puff Girls or something like that. They turned that thing into Puff Girls. Like it's not football. He's taking away so many things from the sport. It's just ridiculous. So is he needed now as a commissioner? No. I think they need to get a commissioner that's going to be understanding of modernization and understanding that, hey, we need to take the shield to the next level and we need to bring some things back because some things in football need to come back.
Yep. Yeah, man. This been another great live, man.
It has been. Y'all take care. Y'all have a great hump day. As we know, everybody got their picks lined up, so we're gonna wait and see what it's gonna look like for next week. So y'all be easy. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
peace, man.